Good evening, Coach, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the post-game press conference for the Leagues Cup match between DC United and Mazatlán FC. We have head coach Troy Lesesne. Estamos con el director técnico de DC United, Troy Lesesne. Si necesitan traducción en simultáneo, la función está disponible directamente por Zoom. We'll start with questions in the room.
Troy, I wanted to ask what your general take on the game. It was kind of it played out one way before the red card and then very much changed pretty dramatically after it. How do you think the team did in the early stages and then coped with the deficit afterwards?
Yeah, I just told the group that the time period prior to us getting a man sent off, it's really not us being in our way completely. I think that we had some good moments, but not the moments that we need to that we expect now. And that's what I am critical of the group of. And we do not have any room for error when we come back into the regular season now. And so if we don't start the right way, if we get guys sent off, then those are opportunities that are going to be lost for us to really maximize the final 9 regular season matches. So I'm really proud of the group from fighting back and digging a goal back and making it interesting late. But the circumstances of the game were very much against us tonight.
You got a debut for Boris tonight. How do you think he did? Obviously not a perfect situation to come into, but how do you think he did?
Really hard situation to come into, but I think he showed flashes of what he's capable of. I mean, he's a guy that gets around very well, good ball winner, good passer, and he's only been with us 3-4 days, so I think it's a good debut for him. I'm really happy he got his debut. I wish it would have been under easier circumstances to come into.
Troy, first you were having some back and forth with the fourth official, and then after the game, you had some words with the officials. Can you kind of explain what was your thought process in those moments and what you felt about?
Yeah, just more questions than anything. I mean, it was just questions about decisions that were made or not made. And this is a great competition. I really enjoyed it last year. I wanted to go further in it this year than we did. But the competition has to be protected in the right way, and I'm not so sure it was tonight.
This club it didn't play in the U.S. Open Cup this year, so this was the first time this year that it had a must-win situation. How did you feel that your team, especially the veterans, handled the situation? And going forward, how much more would you like to have this team feature in these must-win situations, similar to U.S. Open Cup, Leagues Cup next year, if there is one? What are your thoughts on that take of how your team handled the pressure of a must-win?
Yeah, it obviously prepares your team, and the 9 regular season matches that we have left are going to have those types of knockout feels to them because we need 3 points, we need results, and so many of those. So we wanted to have more experience in this competition this year. So we were a little bit disappointed we didn't progress clearly, and I can only say that again we're down 2-0 under really extreme circumstances, and we fight back to make it 2-1 and make it interesting. So I think the mentality of the group is there. I just want to see us start better. I think we start games so well for the most part, but tonight we didn't do that.
Hey Troy, despite the result, what are some of the takeaways that you take from the Leagues Cup moving forward into the latter part of the season?
Yeah, look, we won our group. I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. So Santos Laguna just took FC Cincinnati, who's towards the top of the table, to penalties, and we had a great showing against them, great showing against Atlanta. Didn't have the home match against Santos Laguna. The group still showed the mentality to get the job done. We felt good about bringing a match back home to Audi, so everyone that came out tonight, we really appreciate their support. And, as I've said before, we wanted to progress further in this competition, but now we know what's clearly in front of us, and we have a lot of work to do to get into a playoff position.
Coach, what can you say about Alex Bono and what he was able to do? I know one of the goals looked like it took a deflection, but his performance tonight, how was he able to keep you guys in the game late as you guys try to make a run?
Yeah, he made 2 or 3 big saves in order for it to stay 2-0. And that gives us a chance. And, that's what we're going to expect Bones to do whenever he's calling on, trying to keep us in matches, if not, replicate what we did the match prior, which is keeping clean sheets. That's what he wants. We have to keep the opponent off the score line, no matter if we have 10 men or 11 men. And Bones is going to be a big part of that.
Not the outcome you wanted tonight, but last two MLS matches you got wins. You won your guys' group in Leagues Cup. What can you say about the momentum you guys have, even though the outcome tonight was not what you wanted?
Yeah, we're moving more in the right direction. I mean, clearly June and July were a tough period for us, but I think we're past that period now. I think the group sees how we're coming together and where we're going for these final nine matches.
Coach, after the red card, there was like a 15-minute stretch of play. Things just kind of snowballed for you guys. What did you see happen in that last stretch of the first half?
Yeah, I thought the first goal was a little bit unlucky with the deflection, but credit to them. And then the second goal, we can manage that better. I think we can potentially get out to block across. The box defending wasn't what we needed to have, being down a man, and we had 5 players at the back of that stage. So the reason we did that was to keep things tight, and we didn't do that. So, that's something that no matter, again, if we're down a man or not, we can control that better.
Troy, I wanted to ask a little about some of the younger guys getting this experience where, against Santos it's a different league. Tonight it's obviously a must-win game to stay in the competition. So for players like Matai or Matty Peltola, what do you see them taking from these games with them starting both times or all three?
Yeah, I mean, Matty's in a different stage of his career, so I think it's good to see him. I think him and Ku, though, being 21, 22, they played a lot of matches now at this level. So it's good for their development, don't get me wrong, but a 17-year-old starting these last 2 games, it's a big deal. And Matai showed his quality against Santos, and he showed some quality tonight. I changed that at halftime. It had nothing to do with his performance. I'm really happy with where Matai is, and he's going to be someone that's going to continue to fight for a position this year.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Thank you.